Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors, America's only daily outdoor TV show. Your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm Winston Chester, and I'm glad you're with us on this Friday morning, wrapping up a good week here on the show, and we appreciate your viewership. Let's get started with our weather, brought to us by Gulf Coast Air Conditioning, Drew Pollard, and hard-working crew taking care of our everyday comfort needs. Pretty comfortable today, high 84, low 74, a little 10-degree swing there. But we're getting into a little bit of warm weather now, getting toward the end of spring. Let's take a look at our temperature on the end of the pier, brought to us by Alco Electric, our water temperature. It's looking at 78 degrees. It's been a steady 78 just about all week. So nice steady right there. So just catching some mahi out there. So we'll talk about that during our famous Friday fishing forecast. Moving on to our river readings, brought to us by Panama City Coca-Cola. The chocolate, let's do the Apalachicola first. We got it's at a 8.5, sort of level off. It went up a little bit. You can see it by the chart. They've opened up some of the gates a couple of days ago, so it went up. But it's at 8.5. The chocolate at Carabelle, it's been high. This morning, 9.9, so we're rounded off to 10 foot, but it's about to start going down. It stayed up a little bit longer than we thought, so it's going to start going down maybe this afternoon. Our tide chart brought to us by Kent Forest Lawn. Good strong tide today, 12:09, right here middle of the day will be the high tide. The low tide will be 11:31 tonight. Take a look at our fishing game times, brought to us by Blue Water Outriggers in Port St. Joe. This morning, 2:35 to 4:35. And after lunch, about 3:02 to 5:02. Good time on them. I know a lot of folks work a half a day on Friday, so that's some good peak times right there this afternoon. Our wind now becoming southwest at about 10 to 20. Has been stuck on that for a couple of days. It's been really good breezy weather, which is, like I say each time, looking on the bright side, it's keeping the bugs away. And it really does late in the afternoon, keep those bugs down. All right, let's take a break. We'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. I was going to tell you on this past Wednesday afternoon, out of Captain Anderson's Event Center, Bobby Miley and some of the captains got together and had a memorial service for Bobo Hobbs, he and the family, and it was really nice. I was able to attend, and I really thoroughly enjoyed it. As it's going away, they're going to take his ashes out to sea now, but it was a good service, a good crowd. And what I did, I just videoed some of it on my phone, so I want to share some of it with you because I think you would appreciate it. This is at the Event Center out here at Captain Anderson's, and this is a cool place up there. And I just always want to get out there first thing I look at. I just look at these boats. I'm always amazed by the fishing fleet of our area. I just always get a kick out of it. Okay, well, then I did, and then I went out the other side of the door and shot the other end. But all different faces now, some different boats, a lot more modern boats than we originally had. A strong fishing fleet, and across the lagoon, of course, the Treasure Island, and it's really good stuff. Anyway, walking in, this is the event center and out there, and I wanted to. This is a table coming in, a lot of memorabilia of Captain Bobo. Look at this now. He's a big Alabama fan. Okay, here's some of the old pictures and everything. People signed in. But look at this Alabama. How about this? To Captain Bobo Hobbs, Roll Tide, Nick Saban. He got an autograph. And also Gene Stallings. He had their two autographs. I thought that was cool. And then went in and just saw some groups. Some people started coming in. And so I'm going to move on and had some good pictures. I wanted to get the slideshow. I wanted to get some of those pictures. But anyway, so here's some of the pictures here. The old Florida Queen. And they were really nice. There's some pictures of Bobo. I started going around and seeing the people, and a good crowd. These folks, these are the some of the full-time fishing families, and they all came to pay their respects to Bobo. And Bobby Miley up there getting ready to get started. And let's see, this is okay. This was his aunt. She remembered when Bobo was born. Was that amazing? Captain Rick Corley, he did a little ceremony toward the end there. It's an old maritime thing of ringing the bells. He has, there he is. He's way back in the middle by the flag. He's ringing 8 bells, and that's the end of the watch for the maritime folks. And everybody's facing west, and that's just part of the ceremony there. Everybody facing west, and then, let's see, and then in the closing, some closing remarks. And just a room full of people. You know, I was so pleased to see this many people. There's Mike Miller there. This many people honor him, and all these folks in the maritime business. Okay, so I wanted to share that with you. And like I said, they're going to take his ashes out. Bobby Miley and a group of those captains and families are going to take his ashes out soon. Moving on now, I wanted to mention this. This is coming up. Each year we'll talk about this. The 13th annual Taunton Family Festival, and it's going to be May 24th from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. They do all kind of cool things, but this is they send out a magazine, and these are the kids. There's some of the kids they help. These kids, they're basically they raise these kids, and they do it the real way, with love and fellowship and prayer and support from people like us. And there's just a page of stories. Here's some more stories. And what wonderful testimonials these stories are. It's really, really good. And they keep them a period of time, they keep them the whole time. And here's what they're going to try to do for this year. They're repairing the slide. They have some weeks open, their summer camp. Please, last paragraph, please continue to lift up the children's home and all that goes on here in your prayers, so thank you. So anyway, that's just the Taunton family, and I remember when he got started, Judge David Taunton, he was on the show about the second year that we started doing the show. He came down and talked about what they're doing. It's just a wonderful story. So, and it's been going on a good while. The festival now has just been 13 years, but the Taunton Family Children's Home has had all kind of support and all kind of things happening good to us. So I just appreciate those folks, all the help we give to them. And they love the outdoors. Let's take a break. We'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. All kind of things going on in the springtime, you know, and the fishing tournaments. And here's this one here locally. This is a Snappers Showdown out here at the Lighthouse Marina. And there's the boats and everything. So the largest red snapper and all of that. Of course, all kind of, we support all of these, any outdoor activity we will support here on Panhandle Outdoors. All right. Please be considerate and check hunting season dates when scheduling birthday parties, weddings, and other events this fall. I thought y'all would appreciate that. Okay. I love this picture of the little girl catching a fish. 8-year-old, but what's cool about it, I busted my 8-year-old out of school early today and hit the lower end of the river. Caught around 18 in 2 hours. Definitely a learning day for her. So anyway, it's okay to take your kid out of school every now and then and take them fishing. So good job over there in the Choctawhatchee River. I love that one. Now, speaking of tournaments, this is on Howard Creek, and Patricia Patty Fowler, who lives down there, 2 weeks from today, this was the other day, hopefully the rain will stop and the winds will cease. But this is coming right up, folks. This is this coming, let's see, this coming weekend, not this weekend, but the next weekend, okay? The Grim tournament down in Howard Creek. And I'm going to be there. I'm going to be eating some fish. So looking forward to it. The people checking with our pet squirrel. We got him over in the woods to the right, but he comes back to the window and this means he wants some food, and Gail will take him a little bowl of food out there. And I'm trying to get him to learn to get the food on his own. So he's only, but anyway, he says he's waiting. He said, "Where's my food? Where's my food?" I just get a kick out of it. It's funny. All right. Interesting, talking about taking care of the history around here. This is down to Cedar Key. If you've been to Cedar Key before, it is truly a fishing village, and it's actually been on the America's 11 most endangered historic places now, because you know how development is. and that area hasn't been developed because it really was not that nice of an area for developers at one time, and now they're all foaming at the mouth to try to develop it. If you live in a rural area and you see signs like this, chance of finding an EV charging station are very slim. You used to see this quite a bit. You don't see this very much anymore, which is good. But that's the situation there. Okay, I think I've shown this one. Let me get back to. All right, I've got David Hawkins sent this. One day you're the starry-eyed young outdoorsman sitting around the campfire listening to the old-timers tell stories of past hunts and fish catches, all the while hanging on to every detail. The next day, you're the old-timer, reminiscing and telling stories. Life is short. Enjoy every day. And is that not so true? Blink your eye, here it is. I mentioned Island Bluff earlier this part of this week over there at Bristol at Torreo State Park. This is some folks climbing. I would not recommend climbing it, but that's a really steep bluff, and I wouldn't think it's really safe to do that, but some folks do it. If you want to go looking for crocodiles, the 4 best locations in Florida, over there at Fort Myers, all the way around Miami and down to the Keys. Some crocodiles in those 4 locations. Okay, I'm so proud of the FSU campus here. Okay, let's read this. FSU will add to its official sports programs this fall the launch of a collegiate bass fishing team. But in addition, this is what's cool, we'll host a fishing club for students of all levels of experience. This is our 2nd collegiate sports team, following on the heels of our champion esports team. But anyway, what are they going to do? And I've talked to them. If you see Dean Randy Hanna, compliment he and the whole staff there. They've done such a good job. But the fishing club, and I sort of really encourage them to do that. You have this elite fisherman in the bass fishing team, but so many of the students just would love to just go fish a little bit. And with the location, I told them at a meeting, I said, y'all could have class and get the kids out of class early and let them have a pole to check out. They could wade fish right there from the local, right there where the classrooms are. I mean, that's some great wade fishing out there. So, and just introduce them to it, take them to have a little pier trip, and also they're going to start a fishing club. So encourage your children, grandchildren, or people you know to check out that fishing club and get involved in it. I'm so proud of them for doing that. They worked hard on it. Okay, my cousin Randy Parker up there in West Gaston County, he sent this. Winston, good morning, hope you're doing well. We are hanging in here. I was checking to see how your trees are doing. I have about 60 worms, catawba. Okay, look at those catawba worms. Okay, can you see them right there? Let me blow them up. Okay, he gave me some trees, and I haven't had luck. I'm snake bit when it comes to trees, but I'm glad to see he's got 60 worms out there. That is great, Randy. Appreciate you sending that to me. And speaking of taking care of things, this is on the Panama City Beach page. We talk about this on a regular basis. The scars, prop scars. This is over Shell Island. And anyway, this is going on. So this is going to be a problem as more and more, really the pontoon rentals. And you know, you don't want to blame people, but blame's got to be put somewhere. But these folks that rent the pontoons, they tell, I've heard them, they'll tell the people that rent them. I'm talking about the families that come in, and it's just pure inexperience. They'll tell them about, don't run in shallow water. And they give them like a 5-minute talk on where to go and where not to go. But you see when they get out there, they don't listen. A lot of them don't listen, and some of them just accidentally do it. Some of them just don't care. So it's just, we got to keep encouraging that to take care of our seagrass, especially here in St. Joe Bay. And in fact, they were talking about it happened over there in, I'm read this right here. This guy, anyway, here's what I want you to read right here. You think it's bad now, wait 10 or 15 years to go by, you have no grass at all. Okay, this guy grew up here. I witnessed it my entire life in Destin near Crab Island. We used to have abundant grass flats that held nice trout and reds. I grew up wading on those grass flats. Now those flats are gone, and we're talking about Crab Island. I show you pictures of Crab Island, how many boats and all out there now. That used to be a great fishing spot, and you saw what happened. I remember before any boats started gathering there on weekends, I would see people out there fishing and anchoring their boat and wading out there and fishing, but not now because we haven't taken care of it. So anyway, we're going to talk more about it. So as you get around those things. Okay, let's close on this one right here. I live in the South where lightning bugs use their blinkers more than most drivers. So it's lightning bug season if you're out there looking for them. All right, here, let's get ready for our drawing. It's been a good week, so we end up on getting some fresh seafood from folks. Our mullet plate at Gene's Oyster Bar. I want to thank Ronnie Fowler and the staff for sharing this and giving it to us every Friday. And the winner is going to be from Georgia and Panama City Beach, Jackie Brooks. Okay, Jackie, congratulations. Tropidoc Seafood, Greg Abrams and his boys and the family and the staff there. $20 gift certificate from Fountain, Carson Hathaway, the Hathaway family, the honor students out there. And Big Red Snapper is going to, oops, I dropped it. From Panama City, Mike Westbrook from Panama City. All right, congratulations and enjoy that good fresh seafood. Let's take a break and come back with our famous Friday fishing forecast. Okay, welcome back and welcome to our famous Friday fishing forecast brought to us by Jessica Ling Insurance and Financial Group up here in Lynn Haven, doing a great job. Run by and see them for any of those needs right there in insurance or financial planning. Okay, we're looking at a situation where we're having some really strong winds this week, and they've been 10 to 20. I talked about it during the report. 10 to 20, and the benefit, like I say, keeps off the bugs, but that sort of put people in a wade fishing mode, and a lot of folks have gone wade fishing. So first thing I wrote down, wade fishing. Been some nice trout caught by some wade fishermen, and also some guys getting out with their mullet net and cast for some mullet and swimming by. So that's a couple of things I wrote by. I wrote down St. George Island. Now here, I got a bad report from St. George Island. One of the guys down there said the water was just chocolate, and that's what happens. You get that steady wind to keep churning up. If waves with rough surf, you're gonna make it sort of a little muddy. So it says chocolate covered, and he said it just hadn't. And he said the horse flies have been brutal, which I thought was odd because usually that wind, the north wind is what brings the bugs down, and the south wind sort of blows them back up mainland. So, but I guess they're already there. So the only thing they were catching, he said, just a lot of catfish. And to me, it's a little bit early for catfish, but because it's summertime, they're all over the place. So that means the water temperature warmed up on the catfish. Also wrote down the mahi bite. I've showed you pictures of it this week. Different mahi have been caught, and we've had some really good catches of that. I wrote down also the redfish over in Choctaw Bay. Some nice redfish and nice trout that have been caught over there. Freshwater bass fishing has been really, really good. And speaking of bass fishing, a young lady is going to be on my show Monday. Emily Locker sent me a picture of a big old 6-pound bass she caught, and we're going to talk about that. So don't forget to watch the show Monday. The catfishing with the river high dropping out, catfishing is going to be really good in all of the areas. Let's jump down here. Let's go to St. Joe Bay. I haven't talked about St. Joe Bay lately. Okay, here we go. Black's Island, the places to go, I talk about it on a pretty regular basis, the channels and all, but some really good fishing at the tip of the Cape if you can go early. Okay, if you go early and fish, okay, right on the inside of the bay, from there all the way down to State Park. And the state park doesn't open early enough for me, so you got to get out early. But wade fishing on the backside of that island is so good. And let's move on up here. We'll talk about White City and then Lake Wimico. I haven't talked about Lake Wimico lately. The southwest wind is going to be strong. The waves going to be pretty strong up on that north end of the bank right there. But right here on the bottom end, where your creeks are coming in, this is really good fishing right there. Wimico should be hot this weekend. And they're getting ready for the tournament over there at Howard Creek. Last week I talked about the intercoastal, how good the intercoastal is going to be, and it's going to be good too, continuing this weekend. And then over there at Choctawhatchee, on the Choctawhatchee River, the Black Creek area, the Bent Rod Fishing Club, I've talked to them, they've done real well. And you saw the mullet early part of the week that J.B. Hillard caught, 60-something with a gold hook. He and his fishing partner, all he had a little gold hook. So mullet fishing or the mullet holes will be good. There's so many different things you can do. Like I say, the sand hills, like I just mentioned, bass fishing is good in the sand hills. Lake Seminole is, it can get rough out there. I've never fished Lake Seminole much. I fished Lake Talquin a lot, so I'm more prone to brag on Lake Talquin, but it's not near as big as Lake Seminole. But once you learn how to fish Lake Seminole, Billy and all those guys there, fishing at the dam where the Seminole comes into the right there, the Shimwood Dam, the stripers are steady right now, some big stripers. I just saw where up in Georgia they caught a state record striped bass. They're getting bigger and bigger. So that's some fun fishing, striped bass. So, excuse me. I think that's everything I wrote down. The pier, also pier fishing. I haven't heard from the Navarre Pier. That's sort of out of our viewing area, but Panama City Beach Pier has been steady, and I'm interested to see what's going to happen on that Mexico Beach Pier if they'll get it started pretty soon, because that's going to be some great fishing. People ask me about Mexico Beach. The Pompano, they had a good run of Pompano last week. I haven't heard this week, but Mexico Beach surf fishing was good. We had all that rain and all. I think that's why I might have slowed it down. But before the rain, it was really good. Pond fishing, any kind of pond fishing you do this weekend is going to be good. So, got to start wrapping things up. Had a good week. I got a lot of guests coming in next week. Ariel Payne will be coming back. There's some girls coming on the show. I love getting the girls coming on the show because they love the outdoors too. Most of our guests seem to be these old ugly guys, but getting some of these girls that love the outdoors has always been inspirational to me. So, we're looking forward to doing that. And have a young man coming on does a fishing podcast. He's planning on coming on. Also, Steve Shea will be coming on pretty soon. We'll talk to him. Wrap it up for the week. Thank you all for watching the show. I appreciate your viewership. Do something good for someone today. Enjoy the great outdoors, and let's take care of it. God bless.
Thanks for watching America's only daily outdoor TV show, Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester, featuring hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.